Hey guys, Joe from J&M Concrete here. This week we are doing a sidewalk with a set of steps, kind of like last week, but they're connected all in one shot. So stick around for the tear out, the prep, my favorite part, the pour. See you then guys, bye-bye.
It was right around here when I started thinking, man, what is up with these steps? This breaker should go through it pretty easily. And then the walkway started kind of coming out thick, and we started getting a little worried. Since the steps weren't really budging, I decided, you know what, let's go ahead and work on the sidewalk first, get it out of the way, clear out near the bottom, create some space. Anyone who's broken out concrete knows that if you can open up some space so that the pieces that you're breaking out aren't locking into one another, it'll make it a lot easier. And then to load this stuff up, we had to take turns. First, it was our dump trailer, and then our little F550, and then another dump trailer. Because the driveway was so narrow, we could only do one at a time, which wasn't a big deal. But once I eventually got all this stuff out of the way, I started hitting it with the breaker. And yeah, with my concerns were real. I noticed that this was about 2 feet thick. And then we also found out that there was wood right here behind the steps, which made no sense to us. So that contributed to some issues.
Ahí está muy limpio, ese también lo traigo muy limpio, ese me costó $5 en el primero. ¿En la pulga? Sí. Pero jala. Muy mezquina la vista 100%.
My first thought was, okay, there's a bedroom under there. That's why there's this framing, and then there's wood on top. So we weren't able to really figure out why they built it this way. But what I did is I put some foam up to it so that concrete wouldn't make contact with the wood and possibly cause any rotting. And then we just cleaned up the top and poured everything back. Big change from what was here. We ended up doing 3 steps versus the 2 that were here, which is so much more cozier, especially for a customer that has small dogs here. So this was a big improvement for our customer, but I was still very curious as to why under the area here there was a wood framing as basically the subgrade, which I feel may have contributed to the issues of the porch initially. But we started noticing real quick that a lot of parts of the house were kind of like crooked, and the building was a little different. Definitely some stuff that we weren't used to. But either way, we went forward, framed our steps, dug it out, compacted it, and then we started bringing in our road base. This time around, we were planning on not pouring it 2 feet thick. Our standard 4 to 5 inches thick on steps. Make sure they're strong, very well reinforced, but not unnecessarily thick, which is a bunch of weight for no reason, a waste of materials. And we figured it out. One thing I was very excited for, I don't know if you guys can see in the video, I have this orange thing on my back. It's called the BioLift Exoskeleton. It basically creates support on your lower back and transfers the weight to your legs, and also creates this force that's like lifting up your upper body from the ground. So technically speaking, it's not going to turn you into Iron Man or anything, but it'll definitely help do things like run a demo saw, pick up pieces of concrete, and just the simple stuff like standing up, sitting down, standing up, sitting down. Picking up stuff, little things off the ground, framing things. For the first time in a long time, every day that I left this job site, my lower back was not sore. I got home very well rested. It really made my work day easier. It was pretty easy to use, very user friendly as long as you follow their instructions. Shout out to BioLift. We're basically trialing this unit right now, and then we're gonna buy it after a month. If we like it, which by the way we do, we highly recommend it. This will make your job easier, guys. If you want something to help your lower back, make you more efficient, or just squeeze a little bit more hours of work out of yourself.
Hey guys, all right, here it is. We tore it out. One thing we didn't like, so the reason we took this out was because this sidewalk was sinking towards the house. Well, when they did this, instead of just sloping this away this way, going off of where everything was before, what they decided to do, they came in towards the house that way, like that, and then out that way. So what we did, since we don't have much choice in following that, we're actually sloping away slightly up until like this window, and then we slope it down, and then we kind of go down and then shoot it this way to minimize that. Another thing, so this whole porch, and I don't really know why, there's no bedroom under it, but where we tore it out over there, there was framing and stuff that we're going over. So I don't know if there's like a subgrade under there, but that would possibly explain all this spider cracking that's going on over there. Maybe the wood shifting at a different rate and expanding and contracting than the concrete. We really don't know. And then before we had 2 steps, so now we did a 3, 1, 2, 3, a little cozier, a little bigger. We're definitely sloping this away versus just down. Away, and then over there it shifts, it turns, and then finally continues how it was originally. But this time we'll actually be sloping it just off this hill right here the way it needs to be. There it is. One thing I didn't like, everything here is crooked. This is crooked. That porch is very crooked. That pole is crooked. So trying to line up my forms was more of just me eyeballing it, see what kind of worked well. So there was really no perfect way to do it, especially with that top form. My form goes straight, and then it kind of connects with this weird thing here. You can kind of see it. It goes, and then it connects with the weird pad. I mean, it's super weird. But we're kind of going what was there before. Stick around for the pour tomorrow. Weather looks good. Finally, a pour we don't have to worry about. But there it is, guys. Very much overbuilt, but shouldn't go anywhere this time around. And did you guys see when we tore this out? The steps here were like 2 feet thick. Why? Anyways, see you later, guys. Bye-bye.
If you go through our videos, you'll notice that over, I guess, the years, we changed power buggies. We have 2 of them, but both of them never get used. You can see in the background over there is the older one, and here's our newer one, the one that can swivel. On this job, since we had to come up such a long ways from the street, since the driveway was very narrow, we didn't want to risk damaging anything. We used both buggies to get the concrete from the street up here, and that made the pour go really fast. We don't get the luxury of having situations where we get to use them both, but having both in this really helped out. Like right here, I would dump that one, switch out, dump the next one. We would help out the guys, make a little bit of progress, put chairs under a rebar. Yes, we use chairs under the rebar. We don't use that method where you just pick it up. We're too professional to leave that stuff up to chance, especially when it comes to our customers' money. After we got to the end, we took one of the buggies out of the equation and just parked it off to the side, started washing it, and we started using the last one, knocked it out, got it all clean. We got lucky. Weirdly, it was kind of windy while we were pouring, but then after the truck left, the wind completely died down, which is good. If you finish concrete, you know you don't want it to be too windy, because then the surface dries a lot faster than what's under it in the concrete, and it makes finishing really difficult. And it didn't really pick up again till after we were doing the last broom passes, which was great. And here we see our guys, they're starting to wrap up the steps. The finishing was pretty straightforward. We had to add a couple of joints, like at the very top of that top step off of the post corner towards, I guess, the gutter direction. There's a joint a few inches in, just because I knew it would break where that wood is. So, but either way, everything came out great.
What's up, guys? Pour went well. We poured at 7 in the morning. We're about an hour from the plant, so I didn't put any accelerant in this, but pour went well. We used both power buggies. Once we got near the end, we went back down to 1 because that little bit wasn't much, but we came up the driveway there all the way through there, and we poured from over there. But both buggies knocked out the pour pretty well. There it is. We went from 2 steps down up to 3, did our little addition there, but I think the customer is going to be very happy. Everything's finally sloping this way quite a bit, as opposed to where it was like starting here, it was sloping that way. Here it's damn near flat. Here it's still sloping. Here it's almost flat, but it's going that way. And then we realized mid-pour that the asphalt was sloping that way. So we left a little lip there. As you can tell, there's a little lip. Check it out. As long as they do like their seal coating asphalts up to that lip, which is like an 1/8 of an inch higher than the garage, this should finally slope away better because it's accumulating right there. But they're gonna do seal coating once we're done here in a few weeks. But I'm glad we caught that. So came out really nice. Next week we're doing just a basic patio in the back. Week after that we're doing a little tiny patio with a little strip in a garage. So things are going to become a lot easier. Right now we're in Larkspur, Colorado. We're from Colorado Springs, so it's like a 35-minute drive, 40-minute drive, which I'm not a fan of, but work came out well. The next few weeks are going to be kind of easy, which we're happy about. But there it is, basically what we did last week, but connected, a set of steps with a nice long sidewalk. I think it looks great. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe. Bye-bye.